Hello everyone, I'm here with Matthew Clayson. My name is Connor Davila, and we will be talking to you all about newspaper advertising. So just a brief introduction into the topic. In an age dominated by digital media, it's easy to overlook the enduring power and influence of newspaper as a marketing channel. However, understanding the historical significance and contemporary relevance of newspaper advertising is essential for crafting comprehensive marketing strategies. This presentation will explore the evolution of newspaper advertising from its inception to its present-day role in the marketing landscape. We'll discuss the unique advantages it offers, its integration with other marketing channels, and even look into future trends. By the end, our goal is to give you a newfound appreciation for the impact and potential of newspaper advertising in the increasingly digital world. Okay, so a quick look at the agenda for our presentation today. We'll start with an overview of newspaper advertising, move into historical significance, move on to influence on culture and society, look at contemporary relevance, move on to readership and circulation, then marketing uses, move into challenges, then future trends, and finally a conclusion. So our overview of newspaper advertising. Definition and purpose of newspaper advertising. Newspaper advertising refers to the practice of placing promotional content such as text, images, or multimedia within the pages of a newspaper. Its primary purpose is to reach and engage a specific target audience with a message. Historical context of newspaper as a medium of communication. So newspaper advertising has a rich history dating back centuries. It emerged alongside the rise of print journalism, becoming a vital revenue stream for newspapers. Early advertisements were often simple text-based announcements. Over time, the format evolved to include eye-catching visuals and graphics. So, the historical significance of newspaper advertising. Newspapers have played a pivotal role in the history of advertising. As one of the earliest adapters of mass media, they provide a platform for businesses to communicate with a broad audience. The practice of advertising within newspapers dates back to the 17th century, when publications began to include simple classified ads. Now let's take a look at some milestones in newspaper advertising. So first, the emergence of print culture. With the introduction of the printing press in the 15th century, newspapers became more accessible and widespread. This marked the beginning of print culture and the potential for mass communication. Next, the Industrial Revolution and advertising boom. The Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries brought about significant societal changes. This period saw a surge in consumer goods, leading to increased advertising efforts in newspapers to reach growing markets. Another milestone would include the birth of modern advertising agencies. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, dedicated advertising agencies emerged. They specialized in creating and placing advertisements in newspapers, further professionalizing the field. Iconic campaigns and slogans. Throughout the 20th century, newspapers were instrumental in launching some of the most iconic advertising campaigns and slogans. This includes classics like Got Milk and Just Do It. Finally, shifts in visual design. The mid-20th century saw a shift towards more visually oriented advertising. Newspapers began featuring larger, more visually appealing display ads to capture reader attention. Moving on, we're going to take a look at influence on culture and society, starting with shaping consumer culture. Newspaper advertising played a significant role in shaping consumer culture. It introduced products, influenced consumer preferences, and even created new needs. Next, political and social movements. Newspapers were crucial platforms for political and social movements. Advertisements were used to advocate for causes, rally support, and spread information. Finally, economic impact. The revenue generated from advertising played a vital role in sustaining newspapers as businesses. This helped fund quality journalism and maintain a free press. So transition to the digital age. With the rise of digital media in the late 20th century and early 21st century, newspapers faced new challenges. Advertisers began shifting their focuses to online platforms. However, even in the digital age, newspapers continue to adapt and find innovative ways to integrate advertising into their content. Now let's talk about contemporary relevance. Current state of the newspaper industry. While the media landscape has evolved dramatically with the introduction of digital technology, newspapers still hold a significant place in the media ecosystem. They remain a trusted source of information for millions of readers worldwide. Diverse formats. Newspapers have adapted to the digital age, offering both print and online editions. This dual presence allows for them to reach a broader audience. Niche markets. Newspapers often cater to specific interests or demographics, allowing advertisers to target specialized audiences effectively. Now I'm going to talk to you about newspaper readership and circulation. So starting with global reach. Despite the digital shift, newspapers still maintain a vast global readership. According to the World Association of Newspapers and News Publishers, over 2.5 billion people still read news in print globally. Now, online engagement. Many newspapers have robust online platforms with millions of unique visitors each month. This provides advertisers with opportunities to engage with digital-savvy audiences. Finally, local impact. Newspapers continue to be a crucial source of local news and information. This makes them an invaluable platform for businesses targeting specific geographical locations. Moving on, let's take a look at some marketing uses. So some advantages of newspaper advertising, starting with targeted reach. Newspapers offer a unique advantage in reaching specific demographics. Advertisers can select publishers that align with their target audience, ensuring their message resonates effectively. Next, local and regional targeting. For businesses with local or regional focus, newspapers are invaluable. They provide a platform to connect with the immediate community, promoting products and services to a geographical relevant audience. Another advantage of newspaper advertising would be credibility and trust. Advertising in reputable newspapers can lend credibility to a brand or product. Readers often trust content they find in established publications, and this trust extends to the advertisements within them. Moving on, tangibility and longevity. Print newspapers offer a tangible experience. Advertisements can be held, marked, and revisited. This physicality provides a lasting impression that digital content often struggles to match. Next, let's take a look at integration with other marketing channels. So, synergy with digital marketing. By combining newspaper advertising with online efforts, businesses create a holistic marketing strategy. This can include using QR codes, directing readers to websites, or promoting social media presence. Cross-platform campaigns. Coordinating advertising efforts across various mediums amplifies the impact. For example, a print ad could be complemented with a digital campaign for broader reach and engagement. Finally, brand consistency. Maintaining a consistent message and visual identity across all marketing channels, including newspapers, strengthens brand recognition and recall. Now let's take a look at some types of newspaper ads, starting with display ads. These are visually appealing ads that can include images, graphics, and text. They often appear in various sizes and layouts within newspaper. Next, classified ads. Typically text-based, these ads are categorized by content. Examples can include jobs, real estate, or personal information. They are cost-effective and widely used for specific purposes. Next, let's take a look at inserts and supplements. These are separate sections or booklets that are inserted into the newspaper. They may contain advertisements, promotional material, or even standalone magazines. Finally, native advertising. These ads seamlessly blend in with the editorial content of newspapers, providing a more integrated and less intrusive advertising experience.
So, there are a few challenges and considerations when looking into newspaper advertising. A few limitations of newspaper advertising, one of them being limited targeting. This basically means that it's harder to narrow down your target audience in comparison to digital marketing. In digital marketing, you can quite literally narrow down your target audience to age, gender, whatnot, and send that media directly to the phones of your target audience. There's also very limited metrics, and because of this, effectiveness can be hard to measure, whereas in digital media, you can see everything down to the click of a user on your page. With newspaper advertising, the majority of readers are older, which doesn't help companies align with their target markets to the fullest degree. This also has a direct effect with advertising. There are also a few factors to consider when planning a newspaper ad campaign, one being the newspaper selection and your target audience. When defining your target market, you want to define a demographic, interests, location, and you can also tailor the service of the newspaper towards that audience. In fact, that's what you should be doing. You should be catering your newspaper towards the thing your market wants to see or hear about. And you should be taking the feedback and adjusting using the feedback from your audience, being able to respond well and create a more successful ad campaign. So some future trends in newspaper advertising. There are a few emerging technologies and their impacts that directly affect newspaper advertising, one being websites. The modernization of the way we take in media has made its way down to newspapers. The example I put down was the Durango Herald, where before, they just would have their printed publication, but now, what has been the case is being able to keep members of the community up to date via their online website. You can upload stories pretty much immediately. There's also video advertising. So this kind of adds on to websites. You can integrate videos onto these websites, and this allows for newspaper companies to be more engaging with their audience by offering advertisements and stories through video rather than just still words or pictures. And some future predictions for newspaper advertising is for newspaper advertising to stay on top of the advancements being made in technology. They need to get closer data on analytics to help direct how newspaper advertising develops as it ages. And on top of this, welcoming in the digital age and relying on their digital forms of media rather than their print can help newspaper companies evolve. In conclusion, in an era dominated by digital media, it is crucial to keep in mind the influence that newspaper has given us throughout advertising history. The goal of newspapers, one that is fulfilled by newspaper advertising, the development of technology and newspapers themselves, is the continuation to be a robust and adaptable medium with capabilities to complement the modern market. As much as media landscape is ever evolving, so are the outlets and media that we already have, like newspaper advertising.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. We included sources in our description. We hope you have a wonderful day.